Hi everyone, my name is Kate, welcome back to my Wonder Knitting channel, and today's video is gonna be super interesting and cute because we're gonna crochet with these socks. Look how cute they are! You know how hard it is to crochet really comfortable socks that will fit your foot perfectly, like slip-on. And here they are, perfect crochet socks. Before I made these socks, I tried crocheting a few other models and none of them were comfortable. I know there is a stereotype that crocheted socks aren't comfortable to wear, but that's not the case with these ones. First of all, they perfectly match the shape of your foot with no pressure points or rubbing, and they fit well around the calf. You can make these socks in any size and height, and there are just a few things to keep in mind, which I'll explain. You can also wear them with a cuff at the top, which looks really cute. As for the yarn, I recommend using soft, elastic yarn, for example milk cotton or a blend of acrylic with wool or cotton. The yarn should be soft, so the socks will be as comfortable as possible to wear. I'm using DK yarn and I suggest use something of DK or thinner, because thick yarn might not be as comfortable. However, you can experiment with it. If you choose thinner yarn than mine, you'll need to add more stitches. You can follow the measurements I'll show in the video. Christmas ahead of us, and these socks are perfect Christmas gifts for all of your friends. Of course, it's not necessary to repeat the same bow right here and make pink edging. For example, you can make the edging in black without a bow and it will be just perfect crochet socks. With bow it's more coquette style. You can make them with bow or without bow, they still will be perfect crochet socks. So I hope you're ready to crochet. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's get 110,000 subscribers. Also like this video and share this video with your friends who also may like these crochet socks. And let's get started. We will need 2 skeins of yarn, each 100 grams and 120 meters. I'm using acrylic, I think it's DK yarn. We'll also need yarn for the edging. I'm using leftover cotton yarn. Also, you'll need 2 crochet hooks, 5 and 5 millimeters hook for the main part of the sock and 4 and 5 millimeters hook for the top part to keep it from being too wide. It's not crucial to use these exact hook sizes, just make sure one hook is about a size smaller than the other. You'll also need markers, measuring tape and scissors. We'll start with a chain of air loops. I'm gonna chain 70 loops. At first you need to leave a longer tip, make starter loop, and then chain of 70. And here's an important point: the higher you want the sock to be, the more loops you need to chain. Similarly, for larger foot sizes, you'll need to chain more loops. Today I'm making socks for European size 37-38. You'll also need to know the foot size in centimeters, and you can easily find size charts online to see which size corresponds to how many centimeters. So this is my chain. Add one more loop to start the row. Since we'll be crocheting with slip stitches, the length of the chain will shrink. Right now the length of my chain is 52.5 centimeters. Now we'll start crocheting downwards, and we need to begin with a smaller hook so that the top of the sock doesn't end up too wide. I'll make just 6 slip stitches to start. We're gonna crochet all sock with slip stitches, so insert the hook into the second loop from the hook, grab the yarn, pull it out and crochet first loop into the second loop. Insert the hook into the next loop, grab the yarn, pull it out, crochet first loop into the second loop. So that's how we crochet in slip stitches. Make only 6 slip stitches with smaller hook, then change the hook to the normal size. So I made 6 stitches, change the hook, and then continue crocheting with slip stitches until the end of the chain. I've finished the first row, and you can see that the chain has shortened to 49 centimeters. The part where we use the smaller hook is the top of the sock. Now we need to know the length of the foot in centimeters. For me it's 23.5 centimeters. I measure from the bottom of the sock and place a marker to this stitch. And this is my 36th stitch from the bottom of the sock. This marker indicates the highest point of the heel. We need this marker to count 15 more stitches upwards. After that we won't need it anymore. So starting from the marker, count 15 more stitches upwards and place another marker. the first marker at the bottom of the sock won't be needed anymore. From the top of the sock to the second marker, I have 19 stitches. And we need to remember this number because we'll use it later. Write it down somewhere for reference. Continue crocheting with usual size of the hook. Chain 1, turn your work, and from the second loop from the hook, start crocheting slip stitches until the second marker. So this is my first marker, I can remove it. We won't need it anymore, just continue crocheting until the next marker. The last stitch, you can remove the marker. Now we're going to crochet the heel. We need to make it separately so that the sock fits comfortably on the foot. Make chain 1, turn your work, and from the second loop from the hook, start crocheting 15 slip stitches down. Fifteen stitches are done and we need to make 2 more slip stitches so the heel starts to curve. 1 and 2. Like this. Then just turn your work without chain 1 and insert the hook into the third loop from the hook. Like this. And start crocheting 13 slip stitches up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. We have left 2 stitches. Now chain 1, turn your work, and from the second loop from the hook, start crocheting 13 slip stitches down. Now we need to crochet 2 more slip stitches, but this time insert the hook into the little loop above the stitch. It should be clearly visible like a bump over the stitch. Right here. Insert the hook into this bump, then insert the hook into the next stitch. Right here. Grab the yarn and pull it through all loops, like this. Then make the second slip stitch, like this. Turn your work without chain 1, insert the hook into the third loop from the hook, and start crocheting 11 stitches up. We have left 2 stitches. Chain 1, turn your work, from the second loop from the hook, start crocheting 11 stitches down. And again, insert the hook into this little bump over the stitch right here and into the next stitch right here. grab the yarn, pull it out, and crochet all loops on the hook like this, and then make the second slip stitch. Turn your work. Without chain 1, insert the hook into the third loop from the hook and start crocheting 9 slip stitches up. We have left 2 stitches, chain 1, turn your work. From the second loop from the hook, start crocheting 9 slip stitches down. Insert the hook into this bump, then into the next stitch and make slip stitch. Crochet all loops on the hook and the second slip stitch. Turn your work. Without chain 1, insert the hook into the third loop from the hook and start crocheting 7 slip stitches up. We have left 2 stitches, chain 1, turn your work. From the second loop from the hook, start crocheting 7 slip stitches down. Insert the hook into the little bump and into the next stitch, make slip stitch and the second slip stitch. Turn your work. Without chain 1, insert the hook into the third loop from the hook and start crocheting 5 slip stitches up. We have left 2 stitches, chain 1, turn your work, and from the second loop from the hook, start crocheting 5 slip stitches down. Insert the hook into the bump and into the next stitch. Make slip stitch, the second slip stitch. This is what we should have now, a little heel. The height is 10 centimeters and the width is 7 centimeters. Now we need to continue crocheting upwards to the end of the row, crocheting all the steps. From the third loop from the hook, without chain 1, start crocheting 5 slip stitches up. Then insert the hook into the bump and into the next stitch. Make slip stitch like this. There should be one more stitch here. Make slip stitch. Then again, insert the hook into the bump and into the next stitch right here. Grab the yarn, crochet all loops on the hook. Make one more slip stitch, insert the hook into the bump and into the next stitch, crochet all loops, next slip stitch, insert the hook into the bump and into the next stitch, make slip stitch, next slip stitch, into the bump and into the next stitch, make slip stitch, next slip stitch, and again into the bump and into the next slip stitch, make slip stitch. This is what it should look like now, and you can already see the height and size of your sock. Now we'll crochet rows up and down, but not in usual way. One row will be short and the next will be long to shape the toy of the sock. So now continue crocheting all the way up. When crocheting upwards, we don't change the hook size. This way the top of the sock won't be too tight and it will be comfortable to put on. We'll only switch hooks when we start crocheting downwards. Make chain 1, turn your work, change the hook and crochet 6 slip stitches down. Insert the hook into the second loop from the hook. Change the hook to the normal size and crochet down until you have 4 stitches left, because this row is gonna be short row. After the heel, insert the hook into this little bump, then into the next stitch right here and make slip stitch. Crochet all loops on the hook, and then continue crocheting. We have left 4 stitches. It's a short row. Now chain 1, turn your work, and from the second loop from the hook, start crocheting all the way up without any changes, and don't change the hook size too. This is what we should have. Now chain 1, turn your work, change the hook size, and crochet 6 slip stitches with smaller hook. This row is gonna be a long row, so we need to crochet all the way down. I will meet you right here. I've finished the row, and now we need to crochet this step because it's a long row. Insert the hook into the bump and into the next stitch and make slip stitch. After that, continue crocheting 3 more slip stitches as usual. 1, 2, and 3. This is what we should have, and you can see that we slightly narrow the toe. Then chain 1, turn your work, and crochet as usual upwards without any changes from the second loop from the hook. So this means after each long or short row down, we also need to repeat the same rows but upwards. I finished the long row. Now chain 1, turn your work, change the hook size to smaller, crochet 6 slip stitches down, then again change the hook and crochet until you have left 4 stitches. This is a short row, and in each short row we leave 4 stitches uncrocheted at the end. We have left 4 stitches. Now chain 1, turn your work, and repeat the short row upwards. Crochet all the way up and then back down. I'll show you again how to crochet a long row, and after that you'll continue crocheting on your own. Again, insert the hook into this little bump and into the next stitch and make slip stitch. Crochet 3 more stitches as usual, then chain 1 and turn your work. And this way we need to alternate between short and long rows, and in total you need to crochet 40 rows from the heel. If you have a wider foot, crochet 44 or 46 rows instead. You should also finish crocheting at the bottom of the toe of the sock. Now you're crocheting a long row upwards, and the next one will be a short row down. The length of the sock along the foot is 21 centimeters, and don't worry, it stretches well, and it should be slightly smaller than your foot size. The height of the sock from the heel is 11 centimeters. This is how my rows look, and if we count the braids, there are 20 of them from the heel. The width is 17 centimeters, and now we're going to crochet the heel again. And now we need to remember the number I asked you to note down. In my case, it was 19 stitches from the top. We need to add 15 stitches plus one more to start the heel. So we add the number of stitches for the heel to the top number, plus one more to attach the heel. In my case, 19 stitches plus 15 stitches plus 1, it's 35 stitches, and I need to place the marker on 35th stitch, counting from the top of the sock. Here we're gonna start crocheting the heel again. Again, it was the number of stitches before the heel, 15 stitches on the heel, and plus one more to attach the heel to the main part. So continue crocheting until the marker. I reached the marker. Now you can remove it. And with this marker we need to crochet 5 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then chain 1, turn your work, and again crochet 5 slip stitches from the second loop from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Chain 1, turn your work, and now we need to crochet 7 slip stitches from the second loop from the hook. Crochet 5 slip stitches. Then insert the hook into this little bump and into the next stitch. Grab the yarn, crochet all loops on the hook and the next slip stitch, like this. So in total we have 7 slip stitches. Chain 1, turn your work, and from the second loop from the hook crochet again 7 slip stitches. Chain 1, turn your work, and crochet 9 slip stitches from the second loop from the hook. Insert the hook into the little bump and add 2 more slip stitches. 1 and into the next 2. Chain 1, turn your work from the second loop from the hook, crochet again 9 slip stitches. Chain 1, turn your work. Now we need to crochet 11 slip stitches from the second loop from the hook the same way. Insert the hook into the little bump and into the next stitch, make slip stitch and the second slip stitch. Chain 1, turn your work, from the second loop from the hook, repeat 11 slip stitches. Chain 1, turn your work. Now we need to crochet 13 slip stitches from the second loop from the hook the same way. Into the little bump and next stitch, slip stitch and the second slip stitch. Chain 1, turn your work, repeat 13 slip stitches. Chain 1, turn your work, and from the second loop from the hook we need to crochet 15 slip stitches down. Into the little bump and next stitch, make slip stitch and the second slip stitch. Almost ready. Chain 1, turn your work. Again crochet 15 slip stitches from the second loop from the hook. Chain 1, turn your work, and crochet all the way until the end of the row. And here's the same way, insert the hook into the little bump and into the next stitch and make slip stitch, and then crochet as usual until the end of the row. So finish this row and start the new row. I'll meet you at the top of the heel. So I'm on top of the heel and here's how we crochet this. Insert the hook into the bump and crochet a slip stitch. Grab the yarn and pull it out through all loops on the hook, like this. Then insert the hook into the stitch before the next bump and crochet another slip stitch. Again into the bump, right here, make slip stitch, then into the stitch before the next bump and make a slip stitch. Again into the bump and make slip stitch, and into the next stitch before the next bump. Crochet all the heel this way. After the last bump, insert the hook right into the next slip stitch and make slip stitch again and crochet until the end of the row. This row should be short row, so crochet until you have left 4 stitches, then crochet one more row up and long row down, and after that we'll sew edges together. You need to finish at the toe on the long row. And this is what we should have. The width from heel to heel is 29 centimeters. The height of the sock is 32 centimeters. The width from edge to edge 19 centimeters. Place your sock like this, fold it in half, and insert the hook into the very first stitch. Grab the loop from the other side and pull it out. Then insert the hook into the next stitch and from the other side through the back loop only, like this. Grab the yarn, pull it out and make slip stitch. Insert the hook into the next stitch and through the back loop only from the other side and make slip stitch. And crochet like this until the end of the sock. At the end, make chain 1 and cut the yarn, pull out the loop. This is the wrong side of the sock, and now we need to close the toe. Insert your needle into the top of the stitches into these little bumps and pull tightly to close the toe. Be sure to securely hide the ends through the stitches to prevent the toe from unraveling. Now you can turn the sock to the right side, and all that's left is to add the edging and embroidery. This is how the sock looks on the right side, the seam is invisible. Of course, you can leave the sock like this without edging. The sock will also look cute with top folded over. To crochet the edging, I'll be using smaller hook since my yarn is thin. So make a starter loop and insert the hook into the stitch between the tops of the stitches, between the bumps. Grab the loop, pull it out, and crochet one loop on the hook. Insert the hook into the same place and make single crochet. Crochet 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn over, insert the hook into the same place and make double crochet. Crochet first loops, then 2 more. Insert the hook into the same place and make again single crochet, like this. Insert the hook into the next stitch before the next bump. Make single crochet, yarn over, make double crochet into the same place and single crochet into the same place. And repeat again. Insert the hook into the next stitch, make single crochet, then double crochet into the same place and single crochet into the same place, and crochet like this all over the edge. Join the edging into the first single crochet with slip stitch, then chain 1 and cut the yarn. Here's what the sock looks like with the edging. To make the embroidery, I'll also be using slip stitches to crochet a bow. It's not the easiest thing, especially with such a small hook, but it's worth it. I grab the yarn from the inside and pull it out. Then insert the hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn and crochet a slip stitch. Then again, insert the hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn and crochet a slip stitch. This is how I form the bow. You can create this way whatever design you like. At the end, just cut the yarn and pull out the loop. It's easy to follow the lines of your crochet work itself to ensure the bow is symmetrical. Here I just cut the yarn and then start crocheting from the other side. Be sure to hide all the ends securely through the stitches, make a few knots around stitches, and cut the yarn. And here's how these cute socks turned out. You definitely have to give them a try, they're incredibly comfortable. I timed myself and it took about 1.5 to 2 hours to make one sock, so you can easily crochet a pair in one day. It's a great idea for a handmade gift, and what I love about these socks is that they don't even look like they were crocheted, right? Let me know what you think in the comments. Who would you crochet these socks for? So guys, I thank you for watching this video. I hope you really like these socks. Christmas ahead of us, and I think these cuties are perfect Christmas gift or birthday gift that is pretty simple to make, so be sure to make them to all of your friends, maybe boyfriend, maybe your mom. I'm sure you did as well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye kitties!